Hello everyone, welcome to Edu Plus Leisure YouTube channel, back again with a video after a bit of long time. So today I'm going to discuss the 2024 O-Level Science paper MCQ discussion which was held a few weeks back. Okay, then let's start with the discussion. Which of the following tissues does the cell type stone cells belong? Now we should understand that these are all tissues they have given. Type stone cells should be belong in this. So meristematic tissue has meristematic cells, parenchyma tissue has parenchyma cells, collenchyma has the collenchyma cells, sclerenchyma you should know there are two types of cells, that is the stone cells and the fibers. Stone cells are also called as sclerids. Therefore the tissue which has the type stone cells is sclerenchyma. Therefore answer for this question is the fourth one. Second question, of the following pairs the pair of vector quantities. So we can understand this is a very frequent question, selecting the scalar quantities and vector quantities. So scalar quantities has only a magnitude, vector quantities has both the magnitude and direction. Mass is a scalar, so first doesn't come. Second one, pressure is a scalar. Third one, speed is a scalar. Therefore velocity and displacement are the pair where both are vector quantities. So that is what you have to use, the pair of vector quantities. So both will be vector quantities. Therefore velocity and displacement are both are vector quantities. Both depend on the magnitude and direction. Therefore answer is the fourth one. Which of the following, now let's go to the third one. Which of the following is the element that acts as an intrinsic semiconductor at the room temperature? Now there are two types of semiconductors, intrinsic and extrinsic. So intrinsic are the pure semiconductors, therefore silicon. Obviously we know here all the elements does not act as semiconductors. Silicon is the answer, third one. Which of the following indicate the symbols of the elements zinc, sodium and silver? Oh, that's a very easy one, I guess. You have to indicate the symbols of the elements. Zinc is Zm, sodium Na, silver is Ag. Therefore answer is third one. Very simple question. That's not a usual pattern, it's a new question. We haven't seen them in the past papers. No? Fourth one. Okay, then fifth one is also a usual MCQ. Usually we can see among the first 10. Select the option that correctly indicate the scientific name of plant mango. So mango, it is Mangifera indica. So when printed we should know it should be italic. Therefore first we are omitting first one and the third one because they are not italic. Second and fourth, if you take the first letter of the first epithet, that should be capital. All the letters should be in simple. Therefore answer is the second one, Mangifera indica. That's a very easy MCQ. Usually they used to ask it. Sixth one, which organelle of the cell transmits the hereditary characteristics from generation to generation? So cell organelles is also a very frequent question in the past papers. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell where it generates the energy. Nucleus, it is controlling all life activities of the cell. It also has chromosomes which are acting as the hereditary material. Answer for this question is the second one. Golgi bodies is packaging, secretory substances, distribution of them. Ribosome, we know that is the protein synthesis. It provides site for the protein synthesis. Therefore answer for the sixth one is second one. Seventh MCQ. From which of the following structures in the ovaries of the female reproductive system an ovum is released? Now here they are asking where the ovum is released. So corpus luteum, that is the final part of the follicle. After the ovum is released, follicle will be disintegrating into corpus luteum and corpus albicans. Therefore those will not come here. They are asking the structure where the ovum is released. Then when you take the primary follicle is the initial. Primary follicle is present before the puberty in the female. That when at the time of puberty, primary follicle will develop into a Graafian follicle and Graafian follicle only will release an ovum. After the ovum is released, Graafian follicle will convert into corpus luteum and corpus albicans finally. Therefore the structure where the ovum is released is Graafian follicle. That's also a very nice question. Then next one, eighth one. Cutting a yam with a well sharpened knife is easier. The reason for this is sharpened knife. Let's see. The ability to apply a greater force, ability to apply a greater pressure, lessening the friction between the yam and the knife, lessening the weight of the knife during sharpening. That is not a good answer, fourth one. Now here you should understand sharpening is making the surface smoother. So smoother is actually lessening the friction. So it will be easily helping you to cut the yam. Ability to giving a greater force and greater pressure doesn't indicate by a well sharpened knife. Therefore third one is the best answer according to my point of view. Okay. Ninth one. The formula of the compound formed by the element X with oxygen is XO. Now you know X is an unknown element forming a compound with oxygen. Now you know always when writing chemical formulas you should know their valencies. Now oxygen's valency we know it is 2. But X is an unknown element. We don't know the valency, but you can see it has become XO. That means X valency is also 2. That's what both cancel, and finally the molecular formula is XO. Now keeping this, we found that valency of X is 2. While the formula of the compound formed by the element Y with sodium is NaY. Now let's see sodium. Sodium valency is 1. Sodium has formed a formula with Y. Then Y also should be 1. Then only 1 will cancel and NaY can come. Therefore valency of X is 2. Valency of Y is 1. So these molecules XO and NaY are given to find the valencies of X and Y. Valency of X is 2. Valency of Y is 1. Therefore they are asking the formula of the compound formed by the combination of X and Y. So when I take X and Y, X is 2, Y is 1, then you have to interchange their valencies, then it will be X by 2. So this is a very frequent MCQ in the past paper. If you have done past papers, definitely you can answer this. Okay, let's go to the 10th one. Which of the following option indicate the path the food passes through from A to G in this system respectively? A to G, that means from stomach to G, the correct pathway. So from stomach, now will B come? No. After A, B doesn't come because it doesn't go for the liver. Asking the food passes, no. B, C, D doesn't come. C, D, E, let's see. Pancreas, duodenum, then to the other part of the small intestine. No, food doesn't go for the pancreas. D, E, F, let's see. Duodenum, small intestine, then to the large intestine. Duodenum is also a part of the small intestine. So D, E, F is good. D, C, E, no, it doesn't go for pancreas or liver. Therefore D, E, F is the correct path of the food. That's also a pretty easy question. D, E, F. Okay, now we have discussed the 10. Now let's go to the 11th one. If a little food is taken out from the sides A and D and pH papers were put into them separately, food is taken from sides A and D. A is in the stomach, D is like in the part of the pancreas, no? Sorry, the duodenum. And pH papers were put into them separately. The pH values which correspond with the color change occurring in them respectively would be, now you know A is the stomach. HCl will be secreted. So HCl you should know it is a acid. Therefore definitely at A the food is acidic. So it should be acidic pH which is less than 7. Therefore respectively they are asking, so A should be acidic pH. Therefore 3 and 4 I am omitting because they are more than 7. Then the food is coming to the duodenum part. When you consider the duodenum part, it will be mixed with the pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice has bicarbonate ions which is neutralizing the food. Okay, that is neutralizing. Then what happens? It should be like a very neutral pH, no? Around very close to 7. Therefore 3.5 and 7.5 is the best answer for this. At A the pH will be around 3.5. At D it will be around 7.5. Because of the pancreatic juices, food will be neutralized. So you should understand the entire process of digestion very clearly. Then you can nicely answer this question. Alright. So we are done with the 11th question also. Let's move on. 12th question. Which of the following is the false statement about the resistance of a metallic conductor? Resistance. Okay, it depends on the temperature. Yes, resistance depends on the temperature. Higher the temperature, higher the resistance. That's correct. Directly proportional to the length. Yes, it is. When the length increases, resistance will increase. Inversely proportional to the area of the cross section. Yes. When area of cross section increases, resistance will decrease. So correct. It depends on the potential difference across it. No, resistance doesn't depend on the potential difference across it. It depends on temperature, length, area of cross section, the material. Okay. It does not depend on the potential difference across it. False statements is the fourth one. Then let's go to the 13. 13 is directly from the practical. We have in the grade 10 part 2. Okay, we have practicals of producing oxygen, hydrogen gases, and also carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide we learn how to collect it. Oxygen and hydrogen we will be producing from simple reactions and how they will be collected. Now hydrogen, you should know it is always downward displacement of water. Okay, therefore it cannot be 1 and 2 because 1 and 2 shows hydrogen is upward displacement of air. That's wrong. Carbon dioxide is the upward displacement of air. Therefore answer is the fourth one. These are directly from the textbook. These images are even there in the along with the practical. This carbon dioxide structure is directly from the practical. If you had learned the practicals, definitely this is a easy question. Alright. Which of the following, 14th one. Okay, the 14th question, which of the following is not a property of synthetic linear polymers? Synthetic is the artificial ones. So artificial, this is the grade 11 one before the last lesson, part 2. We have the polymer lesson, very nice lesson. So here the answer is the first one because it is clearly saying that most of the artificial polymers are not biodegradable. Okay, combustible is a feature, electrical insulators also feature. Resistant to acid also can be a property of the synthetic linear polymers, but artificial polymers are not easily biodegradable. Okay, so it's not a property. Easily biodegradable is not a property of the synthetic linear polymers. 15th one, this block diagram indicates our main stages of a route of transmitting electricity from an electric power station to the house. What is the option that give the transformer types indicated as A, B and C in it respectively? Here 11 kilowatt means 11,000 watt has become 220,000 watt. That means 11 kilowatt has become 220 kilowatt. You can see it has increased. So this should be step up. So first should be step up. Therefore I am omitting third and fourth answers. Then 220 kilowatt has become 22 kilowatt. So it is reduced. So that's step down. So second one says second one is step up. That's wrong. So clearly the answer is first one. See, if you always omit the wrong answer, easily correct answer will remain. Again 22 kilowatt becomes 220. Again it's step down. 22,000 volt becomes 220 volt. Therefore step down. First one is the answer. 16th one, which chamber of the human heart has the thickest walls? Now when you take the human heart, it has 4 chambers. Okay. So up you have the atria. Down you have the ventricle. So right atrium will give to right ventricle. Right ventricle will give it to the lung, and lung will purify it and bring it to the left atrium. And left ventricle only is pumping blood through the aorta to whole parts of the body. Left ventricle is pumping blood, okay, through the aorta to all parts of the body. Therefore left ventricle is the part of chamber of the heart which has the thickest walls because it has to supply blood to entire part of the body. Okay, all the parts of the body it has to supply blood through aorta. Okay, so it should be the left ventricle. 17th one, the wastewater released by a factory has passed through a packing of a solid substance. There is some solid substance. Then you can see before going into the environment. Now wastewater pH is 2.1, very acidic. Okay, less than 7 it is acidic, pH greater than 7 it is basic. Now here limestone, what happens? Sorry, not limestone, either it can be sand or limestone. Okay, so when the wastewater was mixed either with sand or limestone, the water release, you can see the pH has increased. That means what happens? pH has increased means it is tending to be more basic. Okay, when basic substances are added only, pH will become greater. If you add an acidic substance, pH will reduce even more. But if you add a basic substance, pH will tend to increase. Now first we have to find whether wastewater is acidic or basic. Now that we have found, now pH less than 7 means it is acidic, therefore wastewater should be acidic. So second one we omit, even the fourth one we omit. Now either it should be 1 or 3. Now you have to understand, limestone is calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is usually a basic substance. So you have this acid base lesson. Okay, acid base lesson. You have this acid base lesson in the grade 11 part 1. In that salts, you are studying about the salts also. So calcium carbonate is a salt, and you should remember that it is a basic salt. Okay, there are methods to find it, like if the salt is made by a strong base and a weak acid, it is a basic salt. Those are there as an extra knowledge part in the textbook. Therefore, now since the limestone basicity was a bit added only, wastewater released was pH was increased. Therefore, answer for this is third one. 17th answer is third one. Now let's see the 18th one. When the cap of a bottle of soda water is open, carbon dioxide gas bubbles are liberated. Moreover, carbon dioxide gas bubbles are liberated faster when a bottle of soda water kept outside a refrigerator is open than when a bottle of soda water kept inside a refrigerator is opened. According to this observation, under which of the following condition could it be concluded that the solubility of carbon dioxide in water increases? Now carbon dioxide, you should understand, it is a gas. Gas solubility we are studying in the grade 11 third unit, I hope. Yes, third unit we are studying, and this exact example is there in the textbook. Detailed description is there in your textbook. Totally this MCQ is taken fully from your textbook. That's what I am always saying, please depend totally on your textbook. Okay, so solubility of carbon dioxide will increase at now solubility of gas, if you take, okay, it depends on two factors, that is the pressure and temperature. Solubility of gas depends on two factors, pressure and temperature. High pressure, high solubility of gas. High temperature, lower solubility of gas. Okay, high temperature, lower solubility of gas. High pressure, higher solubility of gas. This is very clearly explained in the textbook. You can see in the practical. Therefore, carbon dioxide solubility should increase means temperature should be low and pressure should be high. Okay, therefore answer is 2, directly from the textbook. No more explanations for that. 19th one. Which of the following statement is true about the image formed by a plane mirror? Image is formed on the side of the object itself. No, size of the image depends on the size of the mirror. Image is laterally inverted. Image distance depends on the geometrical shape of the object. No, object distance and image distance are the same. Size of image depends on the size of the mirror. No. Then always the object size is equal to the image size. No, image is laterally inverted. Yes, that's true. It's inverted, laterally inverted in a mirror, plane mirror. Okay, 20th one. A telecommunication satellite is orbited at a height of 36,000 km from the level of Earth. Okay, from the level of Earth, it is at a height of 36,000 km. Okay, from the level of Earth, what is the time taken in seconds for a radio wave sent by a transmitting station on the Earth to reach the satellite? Now you are sending from the Earth, no? Radio wave is sent. Okay, so time is equal to distance over speed. Distance is 36,000 kilometers. Again I am multiplying by 1000 to convert it into meters over the time. Sorry, the speed, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Then you can write the top one as 3.6 into 10 to the power 7 over 3 into 10 to the power 8. Here they are not simplifying, just substituted. Answer is only preferred. Therefore answer is fourth one. Okay, this is 10 to the power 7. Therefore answer is the fourth one. So far I have discussed the first 20. So this is the part 1 of the video. So wait for the part 2. Last 20 also will be put very soon. So comment down your doubts to be clear. Thank you for watching.